Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we are joined by Jason Kirk and Ant as we talk about the new Transformers Siege toys out of the Wonder Festival. Masterpiece Bumblebee 2.0 gets revealed, and baby's got back, let me tell you. Also, show of hands, who wants an all-gold Soundwave? Today is Wednesday, February 13th, 2019, and this is episode 316 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's walking in a winter wonder festival. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team, which is just Jeremy, aka Yakko.
And that's the bottom line. Let's talk Transformers.
All right, so we are down 50% of our team this week, so we had to get some special people to come and help us out. I think you'll find it's a market improvement from our usual lineup. So welcome back to the show, Jason Kirk.
What?
Hi, Jason. You're on the show.
Hi, Charles. Thank you for having me back again.
Glad to have you. Oh, you're always welcome here, Jason.
Why, thank you.
And making his main Transmissions show debut, Ant from TFU.info.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Really good.
I believe you have been on. You were on a special. I think it was a New York Comic-Con special. But this is
with me and Daryl.
Yep.
But this is the first official Transmissions guest host.
It's my first live appearance on Transmissions.
Yeah.
So welcome, and we'll have a little chat with you in just a moment, because I think we need to introduce you to our audience. I think people already know you. If you're a Transformers fan, you've likely gone to TFU.info at some point to look at a figure. It's an awesome catalog of all the Transformers figures that are produced. So,
and if you haven't, you're not a Transformers fan.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
It could be a GoBots fan. We have a GoBots archive as well.
Well, that's appropriate for alt mode.
Yeah. But before we dive a little bit deeper into Ant and get his backstory, we have to thank our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate you guys for continuing to help us support the show. And by coincidence, our two guest hosts are also Transmissions Donatreons. So thank you guys. I have to have a special thanks to Jason, because he just recently rejoined the Transmissions Donatreon family. So Jason, welcome back. Welcome home.
Yeah, it takes a real asshole to rejoin right before he's on the show, just so he can have his name mentioned. I was like, I did it, and I was like, oh shit, I'm on the show. That's just going to sound terrible.
I'm sure it was just a convenient.
Right. And of course, I actually do give money to everyone else who's on the show tonight. So I am. Nothing's clean here. It's all dirty money. It's all exchanging hands tonight. So it's going to be an interesting show.
Jason, if it makes you feel any better, Jeremy donates $3 to my Patreon. I only donate $1 to the Transmissions one.
Ooh. See, I'm right down the middle. I give you both $2. So there you go.
All dollars are equally important.
Oh, yes.
We purposely don't mention the dollar amount so that we don't either embarrass you or give you or make anyone else feel jealous. So you just
I'm happy to do it myself. So
yeah, that's fine. That's on you. We do have another new Patreon, a new Donatreon just joined this week, N.A. Olson. So thank you, N.A. Olson, for joining the family. You are not on the show this week, but we appreciate your support as well.
Yes. But if you haven't connected Discord to your Patreon, do it now and join us over in Discord.
Yeah. Say hi. Say hi in the chat, too. All right. Well, another message just for all of our $5 and above Donatrons. Those are the folks who are at the goodie bag level. We've got something in the works coming to you this month. So Make sure your address is verified on Patreon, or if you're on PayPal, just send us a note to give us your current address to make sure we have it up to date, because you are getting a physical item in the mail very soon.
Shit, I didn't give you guys enough money. Damn it.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I do not have them in hand yet, but I'm excited to see it and get it sent out.
Yeah, these are cool items this time, so we'll be looking forward to it. But yeah, so thank you again to all of our Donatreons. If you are not a Donatreon and you would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And that's where you can do it. You can sign up either on Patreon or PayPal. Either way we take all comers. And if you are not interested in making a monthly commitment to the Transmissions team, why don't you just go to our shop, transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and you can get some Transmissions merchandise from TeePublic. Or if you just want to buy any kind of shirt from TeePublic, if you go through our link, you give us a little kickback. So, it's a nice way to help out without actually, spending too much money just on us and getting something good. That's all the shilling for the beginning of the episode. So let's get into the episode and start off with welcoming our newest guest host, Ant. As I mentioned, you are the man behind TFU.info. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your origin story with the Transformers fandom and how you got into setting up the website.
Sure. So I've been a Transformers fan since '84, since I was a kid. I would say that I joined the Transformers fandom in late 1996 when I kind of started using the internet and discovered All Toys Transformers and a bunch of Transformers websites out there. And from there, just made a whole bunch of friends and became part of the community. And TFU.info kind of came out of a bunch of conversations I had with some people. We were always saying, how come there isn't a yojo.com for Transformers? And I asked it once of a friend of mine. He's like, why don't you make it? And I was like, well, why don't I make it? So that's kind of how it happened. And then, that now it's 16 or 17 years later, and I'm still working on it.
No, it's awesome. It's an invaluable resource. We just had a listener just this week. They had found a Transformer and were asking, hey, what is this? And I went to TFU.info and looked it up and sent them the link. So it's really great to have such a nice catalog that's easy to look through and have something that really shows the breadth and depth of Transformers toys that are out there, and all the pictures are really nice. Have you done most of the photography on there, or you crowdsource it?
A little of both. So I would say it's probably 50% me, and then a lot of it's been crowdsourced over the years. Probably when I launched, it was about 50% me and 50% crowdsourced, and it's still incomplete. It's still a work in progress. And now at the moment, I'm in the process of redesigning the pages. So I've taken a little time from updating into the current stuff, so it actually ends somewhere around 2016 at the moment. But we'll get caught up eventually, and once we do, we'll be fine. But the photos are mostly my own.
Yeah, I mean, and Transformers has new product every year, so it's definitely a moving target. You have to keep updating, but.
I think we have 9 lines going on at once right now, give or take.
Yeah. It never ends.
Yeah.
I think my favorite feature is if you don't know what you have, it's like, what color is it? You just ask these general questions and you're like, it could be one of these. And then, inevitably it is.
Yeah, the idea figure feature is something I added later on, and that's one of those things. People are always like, "Oh, use the copyright date." And like, people aren't going to look at the copyright date. They're going to look at what is it? What does it turn into? And even then, I still get all sorts of emails going, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Yo, if you looked, you would have found it." And it's almost always Cybertron Metroplex.
That doesn't surprise me given what that toy looks like.
Yeah, so that's one I get a lot of, and I'm always like, that's Cybertron Metroplex.
You should start off. Is it this figure? And if they say no, it's like, what color is it?
That might be a new piece for the update.
And I guess, I mean, not so recently now, I guess a few months ago, you started a Transformers University. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Transformers University I launched a little over a year ago, back in September of 2017. It's an ongoing podcast, just like this one, that you can get just about everywhere you hear transmissions. And I'm just focusing on the idea was, one, to kind of delve into the things that people love about the brand while exploring the history. So it's not so much episode reviews as it is here's what happened in that episode, and here's why someone loves it, and then just reaching out to my friends and people in the community, in the fan community, and getting their input on whatever it is we're covering. And we're going chronologically from 1984. We are 49 episodes in, with episode 50 on the horizon. That will be the 1986 animated film, and hopefully no stopping from there.
Awesome. Yeah, we've had the privilege, and I think we've all had the privilege and the pleasure to contribute in a small way to Transformers University. So keep on doing that, and we're looking forward to more.
No, thank you.
All right, so I think now we've come to the moment you've been waiting for. You asked specifically for this, so
yes,
it's here for you. Yeah, for all of our new guests and new people who come on transmissions, we do the rapid fire questions. We've got them ready for you. We actually had to update it a little bit because there have been some changes recently in particularly in the Transformers movie franchise. So let's get right into it. So these are quick little either or questions, yes or no questions. Ant, feel free, if you don't like any of the choices that I give you, you can pick your own choice. You can call an audible whenever you like. So you don't have to feel constrained by the choices I give you.
Okay.
So let's get right into it. Autobot or Decepticon?
Autobot.
And who is your favorite Autobot?
Wheeljack.
Oh, nice. Transformers movie. A live action movie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Bumblebee?
Bumblebee, hands down.
Megan Fox, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Nicola Peltz, Laura Haddock, or I guess I should also say Haley Steinfeld.
Marky Post, 1980s.
Okay.
Transformers voice.
More Than Meets the Eye / Lost Light, Robots in Disguise / Optimus Prime, or Till All Are One?
More Than Meets the Eye / Lost Light.
Third-party toys, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm a very strong non-third-party person.
Okay, fair enough. Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs. I'm allergic to cats, too, but still dogs, even if I wasn't.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Chicken or steak?
Ooh, chicken.
Pepsi or Coke?
Mountain Dew.
Burger King or McDonald's?
Taco Bell.
Okay.
I'm very good at going off the board.
That's good.
It's almost like he studied for this.
Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch?
I still my newest system is a PlayStation 2, so I'm gonna go classic NES.
Okay, cool. Call of Duty or Battlefield?
I don't know what those are.
They're video game shooters.
You should do Mario, Zelda, or Metroid.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, let's do that. Mario, Zelda, or Metroid?
Mario, because it's the only one I can't troll one of my coworkers with.
Okay. PC or Mac?
I'm gonna go Mac, even though I'm on a PC right now.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
And is there a phone app that you cannot live without?
Twitter.
Oh, okay. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
And who is your favorite Marvel character?
Ooh, good one. Rogue.
Stallone or Schwarzenegger?
Wow. I mean, Stallone, he ended communism.
Zoe Saldana, Scarlett Johansson, or Maggie Q?
Scarlett Johansson, because I don't know who the other two are.
Okay. Twilight or Hunger Games?
Hold on.
I think we could probably get rid of this one. Probably needs to be updated. This is.
I will say my answer for that is Battle Royale.
Nice.
Yeah, this is showing you the age of a question that was created 5 years ago and is no longer relevant. Pixar or DreamWorks?
Oh, Pixar every day.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Deep Space Nine.
Okay, well that's Star Trek. That is Star Trek.
Specifically Deep Space Nine.
Okay. Simpsons, Family Guy, or Rick and Morty?
I quote The Simpsons way too much to not say The Simpsons.
Walking Dead or Game of Thrones?
That's a tough one. I would say Walking Dead because I'm missing it right now to be on the pod, but I'm going to say Game of Thrones because I've been reading those books since I was 18. So I'm a total Game of Thrones hipster.
Yeah, I was also reading it before it was cool, and I'm still waiting for the next book.
Oh, don't get me started.
NFL, MLB, NHL, UFC, or NBA?
MLB. They used to pay my bills for years.
Oh. Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, or VW Beetle?
Lamborghini.
All right. And final question, blonde, brunette, or redhead?
Oh, wow.
This is think of what color your significant other's hair is.
I know. One of each. Yeah, let's go with that one. One of each.
All right. Remember to send this to Ant's wife. Okay. All right. Congratulations. You have successfully gone through rapid fire questions. You have braved the gauntlet. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was
by my count, he got 20 right. And yes, I did keep track in chat, so you can see my work.
I don't think Jason had the answer key, though.
All right. Well, thanks, Ant, for giving us a little bit of more insight into who you are. I hope our listeners feel like they know you a little bit better now. So now your achievement is unlocked. You are able to come and guest host on Transmissions anytime. You're free.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, let's get into talking about some toys, as that's what we're here to do.
All right. Nothing really happened this week. We can go into alt mode.
Well,
we had a couple things.
So somewhere in the Caribbean, Daryl's screaming because he's missing out on all the toy reveals.
Yeah, Mister, I'm gonna go to an all-inclusive resort and leave you guys because nothing's gonna happen before Toy Fair. Well, screw you, Daryl. We got news. Wonder Festival happened in Japan, and there were a lot of things that Takara revealed. So we're going to go through a bunch of this stuff. The first thing we have here is some Siege reveals. The thing that made me most excited out of anything ever is apparently they're going to have a Siege version of Bendy Armada Prime, which, as everyone knows, is the best Optimus Prime for just kind of fiddling with and posing. So this thing looks amazing. Apparently, we're also getting a Star Convoy, but Bendy Prime is much more important. But we'll start on this one with just the two, the Star Convoy and the Bendy Prime. I can't tell if the Star Convoy, if the smaller Prime goes into the Star Convoy or if they're going to have a separate one, because it is clearly, like the Power Master Prime type body where a smaller figure goes into the armor.
I have information on that if you want it.
Okay.
Rob over at T-Formers got a hold of someone on Twitter, posted a picture. You can see from the top down the obviously there is a Prime in there, and the head they're using is the G1, the head from G1 Prime, or at least modeled after it. So it looks like it's going to be just a straight up representation of G1 Prime that goes in the Star Convoy.
Yep, and I'll take that a little further for you. So that was tweeted out by David Willis of the TF Wiki, and he also noted that it has the side vents, right? There's artwork of Star Convoy where there is an Optimus in the background towards the back of the the battle artwork you would see on the box, and people are speculating that it's going to be that specific G1 styled Optimus.
Yeah, thanks for specifying it was Willis.
Cool. Well, what do you guys think about this? I guess we'll start with you, Jason.
Well, the only other thing that kind of, first of all, I like them both. I really do. If I had a preference, I'm all over Armada before Star Convoy, just because that would be my third version of that mold, because I did have that Amazon exclusive Nemesis Prime that came out. But I think he's different enough that I could, I think it's forgivable to get a third one. However, the only thing that bothers me is, as much as I want to think that these are going to be through the Siege line, there's a lot of debate whether this is just going to be Takara's take on these, and we might not see these over here. I know the pictures show that the Siege artwork is right there too, but there's more than a few people think that this could just be something that you might have to end up importing from like Amazon Japan or something along those lines from Takara. I hope that's not the case, because I really do I'd love a good version of Armada Prime and of Star Convoy here, but let's pump the brakes a little bit on whether this is Siege or not, because I don't want to get disappointed.
With Star Convoy, I could see being a Japanese exclusive.
Sure,
but I mean, look at the line already. The Ultra Magnus is it's an homage to an earlier figure. There's an Optimus Prime that's an homage to was it Galaxy Convoy? So they're already doing that. I don't see why they wouldn't bring this over, considering how many times they've reissued or done a repaint of that original Bendy Prime.
Sure. Oh, I hope it is. I really, really hope it is, because I don't want it to be too hard to get my hands on this. Yeah. Also, someone else on Twitter who I have the Twitter link because I was looking at it earlier in the chat now. This looks like it will be combining like the original. Because you can see fists in the back of the legs, and it's pretty clear that the crotch area splits as well. So this could be pretty freaking crazy once we find out what is actually going on with these.
Ant, what do you think?
I think it's a safe bet to say that the Star Convoy, because it's a Japanese character and it's such a large figure, I feel like that might go the LGEX route, like the big powered set that's on its way out. The Bendy Prime, for them to make an all-new mold, especially with Takara and Hasbro kind of working hand in hand, I have a feeling that's going to be part of the Siege line. So I think because it looks about Voyager sized, I imagine we would see that in Siege. And I'm trying to look at it. The other thing is that the Star Convoy doesn't really fit the play pattern of Siege. It's not the 5mm kind of build up figure. Whereas Bendy Prime or the Supercon Prime, he looks like the weapons kind of attach on. There's a 5mm port on the large gun. That could very easily be a Siege toy that would just be sold as Optimus Prime with no reference to Armada, and then choose your own adventure as far as that goes. That would be my guess.
It could be even in the next part of the trilogy. It could be something that we're not going to see in the Siege part of the line.
It also could be something, the Star Convoy could be something you see come out of Selects, because that's something that would fit that model a lot better.
Yeah, but wasn't the original Star Convoy a Micromaster carrier? Wouldn't that fit with the Siege line since there are Micromasters in there?
It was, but is there a base? I've never, I haven't opened my Optimus from Power of the Primes. Is there a base mode in here that could accommodate the minicons on that figure?
No.
No. Yeah, I was just thinking, because since it's, if it is invoking the Star Convoy idea, maybe they re-engineered it for, I don't know. Just spitballing here. I don't know.
Yeah. And to go with the Supercon Optimus, that play pattern, this play pattern for Siege is very similar to that of Armada with the minicons and with the Micromasters currently. So that would really fit the line.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope this is something that we end up seeing next weekend in Toy Fair, and we don't have to wonder forever what's going on with it.
That would be great. Charles, what are your thoughts on these two?
The Star Convoy is, I don't really have much interest in that figure. I mean, I do have the Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime, so I'm not looking to get another one of those guys. The Bendy Prime looks cool. I feel sorry for, I think it was Fans Hobby that just recently announced their third-party version of this figure, because bad timing. So they might want to rethink releasing that, or I don't know.
Well, like I said before we got on, this is the best way for Hasbro and Takara to compete with third party. It's just to release the figures at a lower price point. Just make it so no one wants to buy the third party figures.
Well, and in the Fans Hobby fanboy in me says I think they'll be okay, because they're coming out with really good quality stuff. So
this Takara version looks really nice. I wonder if it'll even be, maybe it'll be named just named as a different character rather than being a version of Optimus Prime. Like make it a Orion Pax or something else. I don't know. It could be just a completely different character since the Siege line is focusing on kind of G1-esque, updated G1, I guess, mythos.
We know the new comic, at least what we've seen so far, they're using that first Optimus Prime that was released in the line as the model. Mm-hmm. And Alex Milne used this Armada Optimus as kind of the Orion Pax cop, mode, in the past. So I'm wondering if this one won't even make it to the fiction at all.
Yeah. Like Jason said, I hope we get some more information at Toy Fair next week and aren't left waiting until, I don't know, the summer to find out what's going on with these figures.
All right. Well, there's one more thing on that story, but we have better pictures from a Hasbro release later, so we're going to skip that one and go on to Masterpiece Bumblebee 2.0. This is a all-new Masterpiece Bumblebee with an animation-accurate head. He transforms into the VW Bug, and I think it looks mostly okay. The feet are really the only issues that I've seen a lot of people complain about, and really chin. It's not that
chin.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That head sculpt is. Ugh.
Well, they're going for animation look, and
this is like Bumblebee was. He needs to lay off the Energon goodies. I don't know. It's
a little puffy.
Looks real. His bottom, his chin, the bottom of his face looks really weird. It looks like he's like a bullfrog or something. I don't know.
Maybe they use the model from like an animation error.
It's the rounded outsides of his head. Because I'm looking at Masterpiece Bumblebee, the first version of it now, and it has more of a angled head sculpt where it ends and then comes sharply down to his chin, where this kind of starts higher. The previous one looks more like almost like Unicron's head versus what we're seeing here on 2.0.
Mm.
Part of me kind of wonders, because maybe it's just a painted, because I don't know if it's final or not yet. Maybe because it's very glossy paint on there, it looks like. Maybe that's throwing it off a little. Because, when you see pictures of this stuff, even the official pictures from, like, Takara, sometimes these things just don't look good. And then you get them in hand, you're like, no, this actually looks pretty good. So I'm hoping maybe that's what it is. But
particularly the lighting at these shows is never good for pictures.
Right.
That is true.
But I will say he has a definite backpack, like all these figures. So, you aren't going to want them posed where you can... see the back. All in all, I think it's a okay looking figure, but I'm perfectly happy with the first version. You guys have any other comments on this?
I got a couple of things. So one thing I've noticed, and I know it's not in these pictures, but you could see the vehicle mode on the artwork that's above it in other pictures. And I swore it had the Autobot symbol on his front bumper and nothing on his roof, which means that backpack then is a false roof. So we have a fake chest on the robot mode that isn't actually the chest of the vehicle mode. So that's one of those things that I know it's been irking people that happens a lot lately in Masterpiece. The other thing I think is important about this figure is that the Masterpiece line, as far as G1 goes, is really going for that the cartoon look lately. So they've been updating the old molds, Blue Streak and Prowl, Wheeljack and Sideswipe, and while releasing the new Optimus and new Bumblebee to be more show accurate. So that's the way the line is trending now. I don't know if this is an official VW product, but if it's not, the upside to a figure like this is then because he transforms into not an accurate Volkswagen, but a super deformed penny racer style Volkswagen, that means there's more repaint and retooling potential. So you could get a cliff jumper out of this. You could get some of the more bizarre colors Bumblebee came in South America, or hubcap, or anything along or bumper, because it would just be a simple part swap and not having to match an actual car.
How cool will it be if they included the pullback and let go feature like from the penny racers?
Wow.
I'm not sure if you'd want to do that with a Masterpiece toy, like with the cost, but that's a gimmick we haven't seen in a while.
That's for the Goldbug version when he's a throttle bot.
Oh, so there's a version of the vehicle mode in the thread in the chat, and you can see that there is a panel that puts the Autobot symbol on the hood, and there isn't one on the roof.
The vehicle mode that looks like a beat up Beetle because of all the panels.
Yeah. Although I think someone at the show said that there's also no Volkswagen branding on it, so I think Ant was right in that it's probably not licensed.
That would be good, so they can get so many other uses out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next we have a figure that I don't think they're going to get any other uses out of. We have Masterpiece Black Arachnia, and she is very show accurate from what we're seeing here. I think this is a figure that no one was really expecting.
A little bit too accurate.
Yeah. If you know the history behind the creation of Black Arachnia, they were very accurate in this. She comes with a spider web, it looks like. I'm not sure if that stand comes with the figure or not. They have her posed up, on a stand. But I think this is a very nice looking figure. I like how I guess they're able to use the 3D models from the show and really use that to enhance the detail of these figures to make them look so close to the show. What do you guys think of this? I know, Ant, you are a Beast Wars fan.
Yes, I love it. I think anytime you get a Beast Wars Masterpiece is a good thing. So to see them do this, I think it's great. I think, I don't know how much Takara is pre-planning to do other characters out of this, if they can somehow get a Tarantulas out of this, or a Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia, but going how they didn't really plan ahead with Cheetor to do anything, I'm guessing they haven't, but it would be neat if they did. It's also the first, it's the second female we've gotten in Masterpiece after Road Rage, for anyone who's keeping track there. And I'm all about the Beast Wars Masterpiece. It's also neat to notice that the figure stand is similar to the one that comes with Dinobot, and I think the same one that comes with Megatron. So there's got to be some sort of functionality here where you can kind of string them all together, which I think.
Yeah, it does look like it connects to other ones.
Yeah, and all I can guess is that it is really cold at Wonderfest, or this was shot on the set of Friends.
Yeah, Jason, what do you think?
It's not a huge Beast War person, only really because I haven't really watched it, so I don't have anything personally against it. It actually, it looks amazing. It really, really does. My thought on this, and also with Bumblebee, really is, boy, we're in a different world when it comes to pricing these Masterpiece figures. You could be looking at a $230 toy right now, which is insane. From just a couple years ago, Bumblebee could be around 200 too. So. Oh boy, it's going to be interesting to see what when we get pre-orders for this stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine she's going to be very pricey, like all the Beast Wars figures have been.
Yeah, although it seems, I'd say it works out for Takara, because I've seen more than one person this weekend go, well, I wasn't going to get Megatron, but if I can get Black Arachnia too, I guess I might as well just start building the whole collection. So
yeah,
get those Amazon Japan or pre-orders in.
Does Prime shipping work with that? I doubt it.
No.
Charles, what do you think? Are you gonna get it?
No, I have not been collecting the Masterpiece Beast Wars figures, but I am a fan of the Beast Wars show, and it's nice to see Beast Wars figures characters getting some love. I'm still curious about the transformation. I mean, I think that's going to be interesting to see how they fold up this very humanoid body into a spider shape, and I think. I mean, hopefully, Ant said they didn't plan ahead with Cheetor, but I mean, they should be planning ahead at this point. Hopefully I think Tarantulas, you could, if you just swap out the head and the torso, you could make a Tarantulas out of this pretty easily. Hopefully, I don't know. I'll just say the very form-fitting chest is a little weird to me. I mean, They seem to win. They went above and beyond what was necessary. Even going by the show model, they're very pointy. I'll just say that. I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit. It's just a tad too much for me.
Maybe paint will help.
Yeah,
but no. It's cool. It is very show accurate. I mean, yeah.
Moving on, we have a figure I think we've talked about before, but we have pictures now here of the Golden Lagoon Titans Return Soundwave. It is just Titans Return Soundwave, all painted gold, or I would imagine it's not gold plastic, and it's just a paint, including the little Titan Master. So I doubt it's not gonna get a US release, but it is kind of neat that they're doing these Golden Lagoon figures and just putting out these figures. Any of you have comments on this?
I mean, we talked about this. I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago, and I'm still scratching my head as to why the Titans Return version, as opposed to like the Masterpiece or even a G1 reissue. I don't know.
The mold was readily available and cheap to use, probably.
Yeah.
Or could just be the price point they're going for. Even though they did do MP10, yeah. I think at this point, I mean, MP10 has paid for itself so many times over. Maybe they're trying to get some more money out of this mold, to be honest with you.
I'm not into collecting all the Golden Lagoon releases. I mean, it's a neat idea, but it's superfluous to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next we have just kind of a mix of a bunch of figures. We have MP10 recolor with matching Nikes. So, Jason, you might want to let David know.
I will.
There's the MPM8, which is the movie Megatron. We have MP44 Optimus Prime, some color pictures of that. But what I think is what most of us were probably waiting on, finally have a picture of Masterpiece Hound.
Again? Yeah, we've seen him before. At Wonderfest July last year. They had a painted model out then, actually.
Oh,
and now they're back. Now they're back to resin, which is interesting because it doesn't look like they did any major changes to the figure. I don't know what's taking so long.
Yeah, well, we don't have a Masterpiece number on this yet, so that I don't know when he's going to come out. But I'm just excited to see that he's still there. They have him behind Bumblebee and like next to Ratchet. It looks like I'm excited to see him. Hound was always one of my favorite figures. What do you guys think of these? I mean, we have the Optimus Prime that matches the Nike is kind of a green camo look. They call it duck camo. And then there's also a black and teal one they called Elephant for some reason. Very odd to partner up, I guess, if Nike's giving you money to do this. You guys have any thoughts of any of these on this page?
Real quick, I did want to say Hound is actually going to be MP47.
Okay.
Bumblebee is MP45, so there's actually an MP46 that we do not know what that is yet, and that's according to XV on T-Formers. Because I knew I'd heard the numbers somewhere earlier, so I just wanted to see if I could find it again.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I mean...
What do you think of the movie Megatron?
Again, like the whole movie thing, I cringe every time Eric Crownover says that the movies are his Gene 1, so I just... And that Megatron design from the first movie was one of the ones where I was like, I don't like this very much. So that one's definitely not for me. Mm-hmm. Really, this whole set of things here are just kind of I mean, other than the closer look of MP Beast Wars Megatron is fine. I think he looks great.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just more Prime with more reminder that Prime's going to be super expensive. Yeah. And again, Hound, I don't understand. We saw him colored green in July, and now he's just a resin, and it doesn't look like they changed all that much. So I'd love to know what's going on with that figure. That's what I'm most interested in right now.
Yeah. Charles, what about you?
The multicolored MP10s, some of them look interesting. But of course, I mean, I have no interest in actually paying money for a recolor of MP10. But I guess if you need a figure to match your Nikes, if you can afford the expensive Nikes and the new MP10 figure, have at it. The movie masterpiece Megatron pass, hard pass. The one thing, though, I did no one's really mentioned it is we have the colored shot of Big Powered with the I guess the Diatlas based on the Sky Shadow Titans Titans Return mold.
Yeah.
And then the two other figures, was it Roadfire and Sonic Bomber, and they form that big figure, the big vehicle when they combine.
Yeah, I know so many people who are interested in that, and I'm just like, yeah, fine.
Yeah, I really like the image of the box art that they have there. That's like a nice homage to the classic Japanese box art, but then you also have the modern Transformers font on it.
Yeah,
too.
the box might be my favorite part.
All right, well, Ant had to step away with an issue at home, so we'll just keep moving here. We have, I think this is the last Wonderfest thing we have. It is a Revoltech Optimus Prime by Yamaguchi. And this is a non-transforming figure, but the Revoltech figures are some of the most posable figures out there for various franchises. And I believe they've done Transformers in the past, but they haven't for the last few years. This is a very G1 looking Prime. And they show him in a few poses. He has one with the axe hand kind of flying in the air, and another doing a kind of a crouched pose with his gun. I think this looks great. It looks like it's 7,500 yen based on the little display here, which would be roughly 70-ish, 80-ish dollars. What do you guys think about this? I mean, no, it's not transforming, but a reasonable price for a highly posable action figure.
Not quite so reasonable for me, but it is a nice action figure. But yeah, that's a little bit steep for a non-transforming figure, but it does look cool. And yeah, it is nice to see all those poses it can do.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten over the non-transforming thing pretty well, but trips to the store will be a good example of that coming up here soon. I have seen some better, more official pictures of this, other than, because like you said earlier, Jeremy, the lighting in these things are usually not great for photography.
Yeah.
Boy, do I like how this looks, especially compared to, because you had mentioned the previous one. I've seen pictures of the previous one. It was from 2014. So it's 5 years old at this point. And this looks way better.
Nothing was good 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. 75, that much, little higher than I'd like to go probably. But if he ends up on sale or something, because, people are so biased against non-transforming things, I will happily pick this guy up because he is a fan. I don't know. The more I collect this stuff, the more I find myself being a fan of just different interpretations of Optimus Prime. This one isn't all that off from G1 or anything like that. And I guess I saw someone say that the way the chest windows have that border around them kind of references DreamWorks, his DreamWorks art kind of feel there. But the more I just dig these takes on Optimus Prime, and I know this is going to be a super posable figure, which I also like as well. So I'm excited for this. I'll be interested to see. Actually, I'd be interested to maybe put a pre-order for it on Amazon Japan and see if the price goes down at all, because that can happen with these sometimes. So I'm pretty positive on this one.
Cool. And I see behind them they have a Deathstroke, the DC character,
right?
And it's 60, I believe it. So it's 6,900 yen. So I mean, that just seems to be the price range for these figures, human or robot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tells you the level of quality, I think, that they're putting on this.
Yeah, my SH Monster Art shelf is laughing at me right now. So yeah, I think that's about what we'd be seeing price-wise for this stuff.
All right, cool. Well, I think that is it for Wonder Festival. Charles, you want to take over with some Toy Fair stuff?
All right. So, yeah, Toy Fair has not happened yet. As we record this, it's still a week away. But the Hasbro has leaked its own stuff out ahead of Toy Fair. So I guess it doesn't count really as a leak. It's more like official announcements ahead of Toy Fair to wet our whistle, I guess, and get us ready for the stuff that's coming. So we'll talk about the big reveals at the end. We'll save the best for last. But we'll start just with some news from Hasbro's 2018 financial call. So this is the meeting where they tell all their shareholders and investors about what's going on with Hasbro. So this is, of course, the entire company, but there was some Transformers specific information. So this was from CEO of Hasbro, Brian Goldner. In general, I mean, we talked about this earlier, that Hasbro Toy, they already mentioned that, announced that Hasbro Toy Shop was going to be transitioning in 2019. And now we get information that it's going to be merged with Hasbro Pulse, which is their website where they have like news updates about upcoming products for Hasbro. And this will be given in more detail at Toy Fair next week. So you'll be able to get more information there. They also, Goldner also mentioned that the Transformers fandom is one of the best for Hasbro. So hopefully that means they want to keep us happy. I hope that's what that means. So that's nice to hear.
We're number one.
Bring back BotCon, or let somebody else put on BotCon instead of, taking it away, then putting on HasCon, then canceling HasCon. That's not cool, Hasbro. But
it's been postponed. It wasn't canceled.
Yeah. Okay.
We're one of the best, Charles. We're not the best. We don't get the we don't get the best treatment.
So that's all the toy specific stuff from the Hasbro call. There was more movie centric stuff that was also mentioned, and we'll cover that in Transmissions Alt Mode later this week. So now let's get into another toy announcement from Super 7. So this is a licensed company that puts out they put out a figure last year that was shown off at Toy Fair. I think it was first shown at Toy Fair. They're like dead Optimus Prime. It was clear. Yeah. And now they have a new Megatron and Optimus Prime figure. These are not transformable figures, but they're like they're figures with like you can visible insides. So like I don't know if anyone is a kid when as old as I am, when you were a kid, there was a thing called the Visible Man that had it was a human body that you could open up, and there were organs and stuff inside. It looks like that's what this reminds me of for these Super 7 figures. They've got an Optimus and a Megatron where you've got all the insides, and it's a little bit see-through, and you can take the chest off of both and see all their inner workings.
Last year they had a dead Optimus Prime that was just a completely grayscale version of this Optimus.
Right. And so this looks cool. I mean, if you want an interesting Optimus or Megatron figure, but this is not the main news event that was rocking everyone's world this week. That was shown off from I think it was at was it at? Yeah, comicbook.com was where the exclusive reveal was made. So Hasbro showed off a bunch of new War for Cybertron Siege figures, including, as we all expected, the new Titan Omega Supreme. Very nice looking Omega Supreme. Then we already knew Impactor and Mirage were coming because they won the fan vote. But then I think this was at least a surprise that people were not expecting something that looked just like this. We got a new Jetfire figure, and this is a new size class, the Commander size class, so even bigger than the leader size. And this Jetfire figure is really an homage to the G1 Jetfire, the G1 animation model Jetfire, or Skyfire, I should say. And is very, I mean, people were really salivating over this figure, me included. Also, I should mention with the Omega Supreme, it comes with a Micromaster Countdown figure, which is an interesting pairing because Countdown was a much later addition to the G1 Transformer set, but he did have, he was a space explorer. So thematically, it kind of makes sense to pair him with Omega Supreme, which transforms into a rocket. So that's an interesting combination there. So Jason, I'm going to start with you. All these new War for Cybertron Siege figures. What do you think? What was it blowing your mind, or are you not impressed?
Well, I actually first heard about this when my one buddy Sean, he texted me and said that Jetfire will be mine, just out of the blue. I was like, okay, so do we have leaks? What's going on here? And then I found out it was actual, official images supplied to comicbook.com. And I had no idea that was the Commander class figure that I think that was leaked like 2 or 3 days before, at least. It might have been leaked before because I know we've had like product stuff from different stores come out, but I know that a couple days before that we were talking about this $80 price point thing, and then we had it revealed as Jetfire. So just running through these, Impactor, he's the first figure that kind of, because a lot of what's good about Siege so far is the toys don't seem hollow. They seem like they've kind of, they're a little smaller than what we've been at each size, but they're more compact and, there's not a lot of, holes or anything visible.
They're making use of the space better.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is not the case with Impactor's legs, which I'm sure that's because of transformation, but it's fine. I did hear someone say that it seemed like they were going for a very Marvel UK look for him. And I think someone also referenced Jeff Sr.'s art in Requiem of the Records as well. So it seems like kind of really like a UK vibe for him, which is fine. He's decent. Mirage, if you're telling me that is a Cybertronian alt mode, I'm probably going to laugh at you because that is not a Cybertronian alt mode. They were made such a big deal about this when they announced the line, and it's not really a thing they're doing. Omega looks great. I really like that Omega Supreme, much like the other Titan I have, Trypticon. I'm hoping for a good sale on Black Friday, and because 160 is too much, I can't do that. Especially for a figure I like, but he's not like wasn't one of my favorites growing up or anything like that. But he's definitely, I think they did a great job with his base mode. I think that's a really good way to do that with the tank and the rocket and everything. I really do like the look of it. So hopefully a little price reduction there. And Jetfire, again, when you're talking $80, to me, you're talking probably you're in the realm of like a Voyager size, the starting price for like a Voyager size third party figure, which I would imagine would probably feel a little more quality than what you're going to get with Jetfire at $80. I could be wrong. It might just not be the size that's causing that price point, but I kind of feel that. And I know a lot of people who love Jetfire, and they're going to get this. They don't care that it's $80. They're throwing their money at it. So I think it's a good choice. I think it's a good thing they did with this. I think it's weird that his Skyfire mode is missing antennas on the head. We noticed that on Radio Free Cybertron this week, and we were all just like, oh, that's why it looks off. And as the case with his entire line, the battle damage looks terrible. I hate it. And if this is definitely one that I would be going with some rubbing alcohol. We have been slowly going through melting snow in the last week, and all the snow at the side of the road looks like his legs. It's dirty white snow. And that's all I can think of when I see him right now. Yeah, Jeremy, you probably...
It looks like the side of my car.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't like it. They need to stop doing that. And I've taken it in my own hands, which again, we'll find out in trips to the store. So there's my hopefully quick hot takes on every figure that was announced.
All right. And thanks for also highlighting the prices there for Omega Supreme and for Jetfire. The other figures are deluxes, so those are also at the $20 price points. So
yeah, I'm really stingy with my money when it comes to this stuff. So I'll throw prices out a lot when I'm like, do I really want this? And yeah, I feel bad for you Canadians, even though Daryl's not on the show this week. We do have a couple in the chat. So
all right, Jeremy, what are your thoughts on these figures?
I think they look good. I'll start with Mirage. I agree. This is not a Cybertronian mode. I've been complaining about that for the entire line, pretty much. I think the later waves are going to have more Cybertronian looking modes. I do like how the text that's on the side of the Mirage's vehicle mode, they have changed to like Cybertronian symbols. So it doesn't say what was it on
Conoco?
Mirage, like
Cytanes, the
Cytane.
cigarette company.
Yes. So it's the same, rounded box around the text, but it doesn't say anything unless it does say something that we don't know yet, like the Jazz from a couple of years ago.
It's the Cybertronian equivalent of Cytanes because they have cigarettes on Cybertron.
Okay.
Energon cigarettes, yeah.
Yeah. I think Impactor looks okay. I agree with the hollowness. That's too bad, but the face looks pretty good. I mean, the colors are spot on. If they took inspiration from Jeff Senior, I can see that. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Jeff Senior's art. If they're looking at the UK stuff, that would be who you would want to get your inspiration from. I think Jetfire looks really good. I really like how they've incorporated some of the Robotech look in, like, his armored up, like with the faceplate on and the black armor on. I thought that was kind of neat. He looks a lot like what was that third party? Was it Phoenix or?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it looks kind of like that. I mean, obviously, same character, but yeah, I guess the quality probably won't be there for that. But I think still it'll be a nice toy, albeit super expensive. And like you were saying, the dirt look, it's bad enough on a lot of these figures like Optimus and whatnot, but on a figure whose legs are pretty much purely white, it looks bad.
Yep.
There's no other way to frame it. I will say I do like the Jet mode. He definitely looks like the animation version, not the toy version, which I'm sure makes the Hasbro lawyers very happy.
Suck it, Bandai. Or Harmony Gold, whoever it is.
Harmony Gold. I mean, Hasbro already, they just got Power Rangers away from Bandai, didn't they?
Yeah, Bandai's had enough problems. They don't need us piling on them for no reason.
Yeah. But Harmony Gold, they can go jump off a cliff.
Yes.
Then the Omega Supreme. This thing looks amazing. I cannot wait until this is $50 at Ollie's.
I don't know.
Well, it's gonna eventually.
Probably.
I hope. But one thing I really like that I noticed here on the base mode is how they have raised the track around that goes around. So with the G1 toy, it was flat on the ground, but they've raised it to kind of make room for some of the extra pieces here, and I think it works really well. Especially with the play pattern, it kind of gives some separation. You can have toys under it and around it on top, and I really like that. I like how the tank, his arms, like the little arms on the tank, form more guns. They have a couple of ramps there for the little Micromaster guy. That's something I really want them to bring back line-wide, is the ramps for like the Micromaster bases and stuff, where they can connect some of these figures together. So I'm hoping those ramps are removable and kind of interchangeable, and we start seeing more of that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on all of these.
I can't remember. I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember who said it, but someone said the whole play pattern for the War for Cybertron Siege is kind of parts forming with with like 6-gun and cog. So yeah. Omega Supreme is kind of the perfect Titan for this toy line because he is basically a parts former.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So good job, random Twitter person who said that. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
If I find the tweet, I'll put it in the show notes to give you proper attribution.
Yeah, and I doubt it will be, but it would have been nice to have like the tank where like battery powered where it could go around. But I really doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean these were in particular the Omega Supreme and Jetfire were really looking good to me. I don't know if I'm going to pick either of these up just because I don't think I have the space for these guys. But if that Omega Supreme does show up at Ollie's, that'll definitely make me think twice. But I don't know. I think we got lucky just because we got caught in the middle of the Toys R Us wind down. I don't know if there will be another opportunity like that this year.
Yeah, we haven't seen any Predakings yet, so
yeah.
They've shown up at Ollie's, I thought.
Oh, really? No.
I don't know. I thought I remember seeing that. If not, you can blame Daryl for me getting it wrong.
I'll have to take another look at my local Ollie's. I did not see it. I haven't looked in a while, so. Yeah, but I do agree with you guys. The Mirage is just an Earth race car. Who you guys think you're fooling? And the hollowness of Impactor's a little disappointing, but I am a big Jeff Senior fan, so it's nice to see him get homage with this Impactor toy here. I wonder if this Impactor toy is does it share a mold with maybe the Megatron, or I'm not.
No,
the tank looks no.
It's definitely not Megatron.
Okay. I don't know. The tank mode just looks familiar to me. Maybe it's just a similar design for the way his gun becomes a turret in the alt mode. But.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, that's how they've done it for some Megatrons recently, specifically the smaller ones. But I don't think that this particular figure, it's probably a pre-mold for something else.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, probably maybe a Warpath or something. All right, well, that is the news for this week, the toy news for this week. I'm sure we'll have a bunch more reveals at Toy Fair coming up soon. So we'll get to see all these figures in person, plus hopefully a bunch more, maybe some more Decepticons. Hasbro likes to. Hasbro's been doing this thing where they only show Autobots or Decepticons separately. It's a little bit weird.
They don't play nice together.
True.
But yeah, so we've got a hopefully a bunch of Decepticon reveals coming up in Toy Fair eventually. So,
and if you are wanting to know, see the news as they come out, I will be on the Radio Free Cybertron stream this weekend at Toy Fair. So I think follow TF Radio on Twitter, and that'll have more information.
Yep, that'll be Saturday, February 16th from 12 to 5 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, cool. And Jason, you'll be on there too, I think, at some point. So
most likely, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. It's really nice to see the Radio Free Cybertron guys really put on a nice way to cover the show.
Yeah, and it's nice to not be the one running the stream.
Yes, I 100% feel that way. Yeah, it is true.
All right, that's all the toy topics for this week. So let's move on to our trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that we show on YouTube, so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. But keep listening to the podcast, because we will put the audio portion in here as well, so you can listen to us describe things in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store. So let's talk about the stuff we got this week. And I guess I will start. Sadly, I did not pick up anything new this week, so I went to my archives and I found I think this was a Christmas gift I got last year in 2017. This was a stocking stuffer I got from my wife. This is a Transformers Pez dispenser, but it's not just a regular Transformers Pez dispenser. Jeremy's excited. But it's an Optimus Prime Pez dispenser from the Robots in Disguise 2015 cartoon. But it's not just the Pez dispenser, it's got little armor, and you can turn your Pez dispenser into an action figure. It even comes with a sword.
It's a parts former.
Yeah, it is a parts former.
It's from Siege.
Also, Prime he has a mouth, so that's a little bit disappointing for me. I do not like Primes with mouths. They should always have face plates, but what are you gonna do? But it is a cool little interesting oddity. I didn't open it.
Which makes it like the perfect Charles thing.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get criticized for not opening that because you can't lose weight if you're eating Pez. So no one can say anything about that one.
That's right. I cannot I cannot feast on the Pez inside here. That's a bad choice for me. On the back, also, it says collect them all, but I only see a Bumblebee as the other Pez dispenser here. So
it's very easy to be a completionist.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm bringing out this week. So Jeremy, what do you got?
So I actually have a Transformers toy. I got little Visper and Stormcloud, the little Micromaster guys that
are they invisible?
No. Why? No, because I actually opened my toys.
Burn.
So they. Oops. I have them. I had them in the sword mode, which is the mode I want to keep them in. So they're two planes, which are great and all, but the best thing about these is they combine. And out of all of these, they form the best combined weapon mode. Like some of them are like two cars stuck together, and it's supposed to be a gun. They combine into a new version of the Armada Star Saber.
Nice.
Which the original Armada Star Saber was 3 planes, and it didn't hold together well at all. This is 2, and it holds together very well thanks to a very secure peg. I think this looks really cool. This also gives me more hope that we're going to see that Armada Bendy Prime that we talked about earlier. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple other guys from previous weeks, but I really like this. It's nice.
Cool.
So that is it for my toys. And I got Girl Scout cookies today. Because I'm not good at going on a diet.
I would say send the cookies to me, but that's probably a bad idea. So
keep them away from me.
All right, Jason. You haven't been around in a little while, so I'm sure you've got a little bit of a backlog of stuff to show off. So
not as much as my usual come on the show and take over trips to the store. Also, Charles told me Jeremy told me I'm in the Yoshi spot this week, so fuck. Also, so we'll go from smallest to biggest. This is the New Age Toys Flipper. So this is kind of the Legends to the Legend scale to the Legend scale Bumblebee. If you have like DX9's Dutch, for instance, their Optimus Prime, he'll actually fit in the trailer. That's how tiny he is. Wow. You can compare him to like a quarter, basically. I do have the Bumblebee reissue, so that shows you just how...
Wow.
So he comes up to like the shoulders.
Exactly. But he's nice for the size, really, 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 articulate and things like that. The wheels don't turn, so that's one thing you lose out on, but, I'm not sure how... But like a perfect head sculpt even... And actually, if you look at him this way, given what we talked about with the new MP Bumblebee coming, this could be basically like the small version of that from what it looks like right now. So that's actually kind of interesting to look at it that way. Keeping in Legend scale, I have Iron Factory's Rush Beats, so I have their Jazz, which, since we're not getting a Masterpiece Jazz, whenever I find a decent one, I'd like to pick it up. I never got Downbeat, I think, was the Make Toys version that everyone really likes. I never got him, which I kind of regret. And again, for comparison, Bumblebee, once again, comes up to about his, chest, I think?
Yeah.
So, kind of show accurate, I believe. I think if you're thinking G1 in that regard. So, that works. Now, we were talking earlier about some of the new Siege toys that are coming out, and I mentioned that I was not a fan of the paint job on Jetfire. I'm not a fan of any of the battle damage that have come on these toys. However, that didn't stop me from purchasing Optimus Prime. But if you look closely, my Optimus Prime doesn't have battle damage, because I went at it with rubbing alcohol and a shitload of Q-tips and got it all off of there. Well, 99% off.
How hard was it?
So I saw people say it only took like half an hour or so. That's bull. It was a while. Probably at least an hour, if not more. The biggest problem being that once the Q-tip becomes like saturated with the paint, you got to just switch and use a new one because it's just going to smear. So, but with that removed, this is a good Optimus Prime. I really like this toy. I've probably transformed him like 6 or 7 times already. He's really fun to put in the truck mode, and I really, really like him. So I'm happy I got him, despite the fact I was not happy about the paint scheme on him. And since I got Prime, I went ahead and got Megatron. He's good too. I don't like him quite as much. He's not as... I think Prime is probably one of the best, mainline toys I've gotten in a while. Megatron's okay. He's better than the Voyager we got in Titan's Return, I think. But I don't know.
Have you seen the Toy Hack stickers you can get for these?
He's also obviously one I removed the battle damage from, and I was able to do it without removing the Decepticon insignia, which is not usually the case. Usually there's paint on it, which I have tons of labels through Toy Hacks, which is actually what I did the Prime shoulder here. I put just an outline sticker, and that looks really good on him. So I did take all that off, but I don't know. He just kind of looks like I complain it looks a little bulky, but I guess that kind of makes sense for Megatron to be a little bulky. So I don't know if that's a valid complaint. He doesn't peg together quite as well in like alt mode as Prime does. I think it just comes down to the fact that I think Prime is really, really good, so Megatron doesn't quite live up to that. But together, they go together really well, which is why I picked up. Megatron was the first Siege toy I saw, and I passed on the first time just because of, like I said, battle damage. And that's the main reason I'm not getting like Ultra Magnus either. So, because Ultra Magnus would take hours to get that off, and I'm not doing that.
Just soak it.
Well, not the best idea. Because on the actual paint, then you got trouble. I wish Ant were still here because I have this because of him. This is the Flame Toys Furai model. The model kits they're doing for Optimus. I have Optimus Prime too, but I'll just show Nemesis Prime since Ant actually got this for me at New York Comic Con. So huge thanks to him, because you can get it now, but it's even more expensive than it was there. So him doing that for me.
That's not the IDW styled. That's their their own kind of Japanese style.
Yeah, it's actually designed by someone from Studio Trigger, which I'm a big fan of Studio Trigger stuff. I actually just recorded a podcast with our friends at Moonbase 2 about a Trigger anime just this week that'll be coming out soon, especially if you're a Patreon supporter, so look forward to that. But no, I love this style. I think this is this and the regular Prime, which I guess I'll show off real quick. But they take about a couple hours to put together. You do need a little bit of glue in some spots, but for me, I have no problem with that. I think that's kind of relaxing to do that. I put together a lot of models when I was younger too. So I'm kind of used to it as well. But they're fun. If you can grab them for $35, they're totally worth it. And I do have the IDW Prime on pre-order. Megatron will go on pre-order as soon as he's available, because I want both of those to go together as well. That Alex Milne design, how could you not go with that? It's just freaking perfect. And I'll finish with my one big boy for the week. I have half this toy. This is the MMC Magna. So this is the Lynx part of Sky Lynx. He is heavy, he's chunky, and he's lovely. And he has Toy Hacks labels on him. I did label him up with Toy Hacks labels earlier.
So that Bumblebee you started with is what, the size of his foot?
Well, it's as big as his head.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This is almost the scale. But he's, in alt mode, he's just a big brick, basically, because he's waiting for Sky Lynx. Should be seeing him shortly. Obviously, I have him on pre-order. Why would I get one and not the other, right? But he's really nice, really well put together, and, just a bulky kitty. And I'm looking very much forward to getting the rest of him. Light up eyes. I can't wait to have him all together. A few things, but all in all, I actually haven't gotten nearly as much as I usually do. I'm kind of being a little more careful, but I do have some stuff on Big Bad Toy Store, like Legends Class Tarn. Obviously, I got him, so I've got some stuff coming. But that's pretty much it for me on this, as far as this week goes.
That's a pretty good haul. I think, especially at that Sky Lynx. I'll be curious to see what it looks like when you've got both the figures together.
Me too.
And combine everything.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Trips to the Store. All right, we're back for our Trips to the Store, and that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. We did get some feedback, but it was specifically directed at Yoshi, so we're going to wait till next week to have his reaction to it. But thank you, Chad, for sending in your note, and we'll talk about that next week. Sorry for the random F-bomb in this episode.
Oops.
But no, it's fine, Jason, because that's the essence of the feedback. So we'll talk about that next week. But it's all in good fun.
Yes.
And thank you, Jason, for joining us this week. Really appreciate you helping us out. You're always welcome here, so thanks for coming.
Haven't screwed it up yet. All right.
And thanks to Ant from TFU.info for his brief appearance on the show, and we'll have to get him back on for a longer session when he's able to. So thanks, Ant. All right, so we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Also, in Bumblebee movie news,
alt mode.
Oh, okay.
Look at the dock.
It's okay. All right. Other items will be covered in alt mode. I'm getting the sign off stage, telling me to say okay.
When Daryl's gone, we run a tighter ship here on the topics.
All right, so let me. I guess that's a good outtake for Mike.
Kids are so they're so selfish. You're actually in the Yoshi box.
Well, fuck.
We call that the penalty box. Jason, come back. Jason, unmute yourself.
What the? Darn it! I hit the mute beside my icon and not the mute in the bottom. I thought I was back.